Most people arrive in Ho Chi Minh City and see a blur of motorbikes and neon lights. But look closer, and you'll find one of the most exciting, fast-changing places in Asia. Welcome back to Lovin Travel. Today, we're taking you on a journey through the 40 best things to do in the largest city in Vietnam. We're starting in the historic heart of District 1, moving through the remnants of the Vietnam War, exploring the ancient temples and bustling markets of Chinatown, and finishing with the high-energy modern city life. Make sure to keep watching until the very end, because we're sharing our top tips for the absolute best views of the city. To make your planning easier, we put all 40 locations from this video onto a free Google map that you can grab through the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on your screen. Here you can also get access to our premium map with over 100 pins, including all the hidden cafes, local street food spots, and other recommendations that didn't make it into this video. Now, let's dive in! District 1 is the city's ground zero. It's incredibly walkable, and almost all the big icons are packed into a few square blocks. But we should probably start with the city's biggest disappointment, the Notre Dame Cathedral. If you've seen photos of this stunning 1880s landmark with its bright red Marseille bricks, the reality right now is a bit of a shock. It's been under a massive restoration for years, and the scaffolding isn't coming down anytime soon. Current estimates suggest it could be next year or later before it's fully revealed, while you can only see the church in its entire glory in the pictures on the construction fence. It's still worth a stop to admire its giant silhouette, and the next stop is right across the street anyway, the Saigon Central Post Office. It was built just a few years after the cathedral and still functions as a working post office today, although it also doubles as a souvenir shop. Step inside to see the massive vaulted ceiling. It feels more like a 19th century European train station than a place to buy stamps. Make sure to check out the hand-painted maps on the walls that show the city as it looked over a century ago. Literally in the shadow of the post office is Book Street. This is a pedestrian-only lane, perfectly shaded by giant trees. And it's its own world of outdoor cafes and boutique bookstalls. If you're feeling the humidity, this is the best spot in District 1 to grab your first Vietnamese coffee and just breathe for a second. From here, it's a short 5-minute walk down Dong Quoi Street to the Saigon Opera House. This area feels like a tropical Paris, and even if you don't have a ticket for a show, the building's ornate facade is a masterpiece. But Saigon is a layer cake of cultures. If you duck down the side streets behind the nearby luxury hotels, you'll find a completely different vibe at the Jamia Al-Muselman Mosque. Built in 1935, this turquoise sanctuary is incredibly peaceful and offers a quiet moment away from the high-end shopping crowds. If you keep walking toward the river on Nam Kai Khoi Gia, look for the Al Rahim Masjid. It's the oldest mosque site in the city. While the building is modern, it's a great example of the city's Malaysian and Indonesian influence. Heading back toward the main plaza, you'll run into the People's Committee building. This looks more like a French palace than a city hall, and it marks the top of the Grand Nguyen Hue walking street. While you're on that walking street, look up to find the Cafe Apartments. This old 1960s residential block is a vertical maze where every balcony has been turned into a quirky cafe or boutique. Practical tip: there is a small fee to use the elevator, usually around 3,000 Vietnamese dong, but most cafes will refund that if you show your receipt. To see how the elite lived a century ago, head one block over to the Museum of Ho Chi Minh City. It's housed in the former Gia Long Palace and is famous for its grand staircases and dark, atmospheric hallways. It's definitely one of the most cinematic buildings in the center. Finally, a 10-minute walk south brings you to the Ho Chi Minh Fine Arts Museum. This bright yellow mansion was once the home of the city's wealthiest family, the Huy Ban Ho family, and even if you aren't an art lover, the vintage elevators and breezy courtyards make it one of the best photo spots in town. District 1 is beautiful, but to really understand the energy of this city, You have to see the sites that tell the story of the nation's survival. Most of these are within a 10-minute walk of each other, making them easy to knock out in a single morning. We'll start at the Independence Palace. This is an absolute must-see. It's like walking onto a 1960s movie set that hasn't been touched since. You can explore the grand reception rooms where world leaders once met. But the real highlight is the basement. It's a spooky labyrinth of underground command bunkers where the war was actually managed, complete with original maps, radio equipment, and narrow corridors. Practical tip: don't just stay in the main building. Under the trees of the palace grounds, you can see the actual tanks that crashed through the gates on April 30th, 1975. And in the southwestern corner, you can visit the Palace Museum to learn more about the history of the former palace, which was heavily damaged during the war and replaced by the current building. Just a few blocks away is the War Remnants Museum. This is the city's most visited museum for a reason. It's a powerful and sobering experience that looks at the conflict through a Vietnamese lens. The courtyard is packed with captured U.S. fighter jets and tanks, which is a massive draw for history buffs, but the exhibits inside are much more intense. Give yourself at least 2 hours here. It's a lot to process, and the air conditioning inside is a welcome break from the heat. For a change of pace, head over to the Ho Chi Minh City History Museum, which is housed in a beautiful building with an Indo-Chinese style incorporating both French and Asian aspects. It's by far the most complete museum as it covers the history from ancient times through all the different periods up until modern times and showcases thousands of artifacts and other historic objects. To finish this chapter, stop by the Ho Chi Minh Campaign Museum right next door. It's a much quicker stop than the others, but it's worth it to see the actual hardware, including more legendary tanks and aircraft that played the final role in the nation's reunification. It's less crowded than the War Remnants Museum, so you can actually get a clear photo of the machinery. To find the real soul of Saigon, you have to leave the grand boulevards behind. Beyond the war museums and colonial icons lies a network of ancient pagodas and hidden churches that have survived every era of change. This part of the city is a complete shift in energy, moving from the wide-open squares of District 1 into the narrow, incense-filled streets of the local neighborhoods. A great place to get your bearings is the new Lovin Canal. This revitalized waterway is lined with walking paths and colorful bridges, and it's a perfect window into how the city balances its rapid growth with these quiet, local pockets. Right on the edge of the water is To Saigon, a site that feels like a total curveball. It's a Khmer-style temple, and the architecture looks more like something you'd find in Cambodia than Vietnam, with golden nagas and sky-high spires. Just a few minutes away is the Vientiane Pagoda. This place is massive. It was the first temple in Vietnam to be built with reinforced concrete, but it still feels incredibly ancient the moment you step into the courtyard. If you're lucky enough to visit during a lunar festival, the energy and the smell of incense here are electric. As you navigate deeper into these back streets, you'll hit one of the city's most famous Instagram spots, Tan Dinh Church. You can't miss it, it's bright pink. A quick reality check though, the church has become much stricter with access lately, and you'll often find the gates closed to the public. Even if you're stuck taking photos through the fence like most travelers, that vivid pink Gothic architecture against the chaotic street is still worth a quick look as you pass through. Moving on from the pink church, the neighborhood opens up into several other spiritual landmarks. Cholon Temple was the epicenter of the Buddhist protests in the 60s, and today, its towering bell tower serves as a quiet refuge for the whole district. For sheer scale, stop by the Vietnamese National Buddhist Temple. Its 7-story pagoda is one of the tallest in the country, making it a hard-to-miss landmark. But for something more intimate, you have to visit the Jade Emperor Pagoda. This is the one Barack Obama famously visited. It's dark, moody, and filled with turtle ponds and thick clouds of incense. Pro tip, go as early as possible by 10 a.m., as the heat and the crowds inside can be intense. Heading back toward the edge of District 1, you'll find Weonsai Church. It's a beautiful, high Gothic stone church built by the grandfather of the last queen of Vietnam, and it feels like a silent, cool refuge from the humid streets outside. If you're a fan of 20th century design, keep an eye out for Dong Tien Church nearby. Its sharp, modernist lines are a fascinating contrast to the old French cathedrals we saw earlier. Finally, we're ending this loop at the Phyto Museum. It's a private museum of traditional medicine, and the building itself is a masterpiece. Constructed using reclaimed wood from traditional houses across the country. Make sure to explore the upper floors. The craftsmanship of the wooden ceilings and the hidden garden at the top make it one of the most peaceful spots in the entire city. While the temples of District 3 offer a quiet escape, our next stop is the complete opposite. We're heading west into Cholon, Saigon's massive Chinatown. This is the oldest, grittier, and most intense part of the city, where the streets feel like a city within a city. You'll likely lose your breath at Bintay Market. This is the commercial heart of the district, a wholesale paradise with a giant central clock tower and a beautiful interior courtyard. It's a sensory overload of spices, textiles, and local life. If Bintay feels like too much of a maze, Andong Market is a great, slightly more modern alternative. It's 4 floors of everything from high-end fabrics to local snacks, and it's where the locals actually do their bulk shopping. Just a short walk from the chaos of the markets are some of the most atmospheric temples in Asia. Thien Hao Pagoda is a masterpiece. Dedicated to the Lady of the Sea, it's famous for the massive incense coils that hang from the ceiling. Some of them burn for weeks at a time, filling the air with a thick, golden haze. Right nearby is the Gia An Meeting Hall, known for its incredible gilded woodwork and massive red lanterns. As you explore these back streets, keep an eye out for the An Lang Assembly Hall, which is usually buzzing with locals making offerings at the intricate altars. Even the Christian landmarks here have a unique look, like St. Francis Xavier Church, where the Catholic architecture blends seamlessly with Chinese characters. We'll finish this loop at the Church of Jeanne d'Arc. Sitting in a quiet park, its sharp Gothic spires feel like a strange, beautiful piece of Europe dropped right into the middle of the busiest neighborhood on Earth. To wrap up our journey, we're heading back to where the old city meets the new. This is the rising giant side of Saigon, the high-energy, neon-soaked version of the city that's reinventing itself in real time. The center of it all is Ben Thanh Market. While the interior is a classic tourist stop, the Southgate Clock Tower is the unofficial symbol of the city's spirit.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Just steps away is a brand new opening for 2026, the Pho Museum. It's a stylish, interactive tribute to Vietnam's most famous dish, and it's one of the few places where you can actually get a masterclass on what makes a perfect broth. But of course, there is so much more to this cuisine than just its national dish. If you want to see the full variety of what Vietnam has to offer in one place, head over to the Ben Anh Street Food Market. This is probably the neatest and most accessible food market in the city, specifically designed for travelers who want the street food experience without the chaos of a sidewalk stall. If you want to see where that fresh energy begins, take a 10-minute ride to the Ho Chi Minh Flower Market. While it's famous for its midnight rush, visiting during the day is a completely different experience. It's a dense, fragrant maze of narrow alleys where you can walk through walls of tropical blooms. It's a great way to see the local floral culture up close before the evening madness begins. As the sun goes down, the city's energy shifts to its very different nightlife hubs. You have the pure, neon-drenched chaos of Bee Vien Walking Street. This is the sensory overload of the city. It's loud, it's edgy, and it's a must-see for the sheer scale of the energy.
Melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest.
For something completely different, head to Saigon Japantown. This hidden web of narrow alleys feels like a movie set. While some corners have an adult edge, the main draw here is the incredible hidden ramen shops and sophisticated speakeasies. But the beauty of Saigon at night is that there's a vibe for everyone. You can find everything from high-energy, neon bars tucked into the side streets to quiet, elevated rooftop lounges that offer a complete escape from the humidity. There's nothing quite like watching the sea of motorbike lights from 10 stories up with a drink in your hand. Speaking of views, to really see the scale of this rising giant, you have to look down on it. The Saigon Skydeck at the Bidexco Tower is the classic choice. It's right in the heart of the city, giving you a perfect close-up view of the historic streets. However, for the ultimate wow factor, you have to head to Landmark 81. Standing at 461 meters, it's the tallest building in Vietnam. While the Skydeck is great for its central location, Landmark 81 offers a much more expansive 360-degree view, and it even has a small outdoor observation deck that makes the height feel much more visceral. After you come back down, take a stroll through Vinhome's Central Park at the base of the tower. It's a massive, riverside green space that's the best place to feel the sheer scale of the skyscrapers above you. We're ending our journey at the riverfront as a boat trip provides another great view of Ho Chi Minh City while you cruise down the Saigon River. You can either take the Saigon River sightseeing tour or hop on and off the cheaper, regular ferry, the Saigon Water Bus. This river is the city's lifeblood, and it's the path we're following for our next journey. In our next video, we're actually sailing towards the coast to explore the beach resort of Vung Tau. In the meantime, you can grab that free map with all 40 spots from today's video, or the full premium insider map with over 100 pins for the complete experience over at lovin-travel.com. See the link in the description or use the QR code on your screen now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time on the Water to Vung Tau.